Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're to the fourth installation of chapter 3. And we're going to start out with this one, drawing all of the really basic graphs that we have. This, of course, isn't all of them, but this is a good chunk of the basic ones. So we'll start with a constant function. And a constant function just means a horizontal line. So y equals c. And so our constant function is going to literally look like this. So this is y equals c. This. The identity function, this is just y equals mx plus b. We're going to go through the origin. Slope is 1, 1. This is going to give us our basic line to the origin. And this is y equals x. All right, absolute value function. Give us exactly this one here, exactly this line here, except when it hits the x-axis, remember y has to be positive. So it's going to look like a kind of a V. This is y equals absolute value of x. And y has to be positive. These should be symmetric. They should look identical. Next up, we have a quadratic. The shape of a quadratic is called a parabola. We'll go into more detail later in the semester. Parabolas. Y equals x squared. Cubic function. Looks like this. Square root function. Looks like this. It's actually this parabola, but it's now sideways, and we're only getting the top half. So it's a sideways parabola. You can see the other half of it would be here. But both x and y have to be positive because we can't take square root of the negative unless we're on the complex plane, which we are not. Cube root. We'll do this. It's exactly this one, but sideways. Forgot to write in over here. This one is a funky one. This has, you can see x can't be 0, and consequently y can't be 0 either. So we end up with a function that does this. It's asymptotic of both the x and y axis. So it's good. Both of these are going to get closer and closer and closer to the x and y axes, but never hit them. That's our reciprocal function. When we get to graphing these types, these are like it's a whole separate thing. Now we are to piecewise functions. Piecewise functions basically are functions where for certain x values, it's one function, and for other x values, it's a different function altogether. We're going to start by trying to identify g of 3. Now this one is going to be this straight line. In fact, let me just kind of give a quick, here's -1. And if we split this up, on this side, when it's less than or equal to -1, it's the function 2x plus 3. Once it passes 1, it's then x squared plus 1, is what this is saying. All right, g of 3. Well, 3 is bigger than -1. So that means I'm here. So g of 3 is 10. G of 2 is still bigger than -1. So it's still this x squared function. However, g of -4, that's less than -1. So now I'm here. This might be the first time that you've seen piecewise functions, and that's okay. They are a little strange, but we'll get through it. All right, so we're going to graph this piecewise function. So the magical number here is when x equals 2. All right. So let's start with the negative ones first. So that means we're on this side over here. We're going to graph this line. Now this line, when x equals 0, we're going to be up here at 2. So let's put, and when we are at 2, we're going to be down here at 0. And it's a solid dot because we're including 2. So we end up with a straight line that ends here. Now, if we're after 2, we're not going to include 2. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 in there. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1 is 3. So I'm actually going to start this graph. So this is the blue graph, the green graph. So again, when x equals 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 minus 1 is 3. So I'm up here at 3, and it's going to be an open circle because 2 is not included there. But then I'm going to rise 2 and run 1. So it's going to be this line here. So there is our first piecewise function that we graphed. We're going to graph one more. This one is a 3-piece piecewise function. That's okay. Magic number here is when x equals 0. All right, so when we are less than 0, not including 0, let me color code these. I'll make this my blue one. So we are the parabola, y equals x squared. So I'm here, open circle, and less than, it's the parabola. Now, please note, when x equals 0, we're at 1. So we have a nice solid dot there. And if we're bigger than 0, we are the cubed root. And again, cubed root is right here. So it's just that part there. That's the purple. And notice it's an open circle down there as well, because 0 is not included with that one. As we do that, new weird stuff.